It's 7.5 out of Peter Channel Morning News on this Wednesday morning, June 1st, 2016. Good morning to you all on this lovely Wednesday morning, June the 1st, 2016. There are your news and odds on our top story at 8:30 in the morning time is former Trump University workers called the Trump University a lie and a scheme in a testimony. Cairo, a French naval vessel, has detected an underwater signal that could have originated from one of the so-called black boxes that missed in Egypt Air Flight 804, according to the Egyptian investigating committee. The family and boy who were interested inside a zoo school gorilla enclosure last weekend inspired zoo officials to shoot and kill the animal will be the focus of investigation into the Cincinnati Police Center Tuesday. Washington, with the final primaries of the 2016 nomination season, reported on New CNN that polls find that candidates most likely lead their parties in the general election and locked in a tight contest. Tiger 40 days discovered 40 dead tiger cubs in the freezer at the evidence tiger sample being investigated for wildlife trafficking. A 31-year-old Honduran woman, a nation ravaged in the Zika virus, has given birth to a baby girl suffering from the devastating effects of the virus on Tuesday at Hackensack University Medical Center, the first apparent case from the tri-state area. At least 20,000 children are trapped in Fallujah with limited food and water as coalition backed Iraqi troops fight to retake the city from ISIS, the UN said. The UK could have a fairer, more humane immigration system that would have worked better for the economy and left the EU Leave campaigner said. Inquest into the deaths of 21 people in the United States for Birmingham bombing deserve to be reopened. According to real Louis had said there had been a wealth of evidence that said a religious Jewish settlement whose rental roofs, neat gardens, and brightly colored playgrounds give. In Erzfeld, Switzerland, the world's longest and deepest rail tunnel, 35.4 miles long and 1.4 miles below the Swiss Alps, opened Wednesday in Switzerland. Darmstadt, Germany police are seeking suspects after 26 women filed sexual assault reports saying that they were grouped at a weekend musical festival. Manila. Rodrigo Duterte, president-elect of the Philippines, has said their justification to kill the corrupt journalist days after a reporter was killed. Dubai, United Arab Emirates, a Chinese team was found. I didn't incorporate the Emirates plane after the flight from Shanghai had landed in Dubai, the airline said. Flat Rock police have fought regular truck down the suspect for vandalizing a cemetery individual burials at a Revolution War soldier and his family. Los Angeles, after clicked to the Republican with his device reopening immigration, some thought that Donald Trump would summon his tone, particularly wrapped up his primary campaign in most populous and diverse state. Last month, a appeals court ruled in favor of Kevin Grimm, a 16-year student whose high school class from Virginia barred from using the boys' bathroom after complaints from religious groups. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs have been dogged by scandal in recent years, but this incident suggests that VA's troubles may be more deeply rooted than bureaucratic red tape and funding woes. Washington, all three presidential candidates have put forth detailed plans to reform the Veterans Affairs system. The global economy is slipping into itself fulfilled. Global growth Trump who is low to lose monetary policy, risk doing more harm than good, the Organization of Economic Cooperation Development Board. Salesforce, which sells business particularly software and Demandware, Incorporated, a producer of cloud commerce service in a transaction worth about $2.8 billion. Tokyo, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe said he will delay a sales tax increase scheduled for next year, underscoring the economy's weakness after more than 3 years of an economic growth program. SoftBank just made Yahoo's Alibaba problem tougher to solve. Japanese second telecom conglomerate SoftBank said Wednesday it was unloaded at least $7.9 billion in Alibaba shares. Stockholm, Sweden. The Norwegian government has signed a deal that gives Swedish company London Petroleum a greater stake in its offshore resources. Second, Germany, it may be another year before that Western company recovers from a deep recession and returns to growth, the country's economic and development minister said. Iran, the global market for crude oil is moving closer to joint balance and injection, and Iran's return had already been factored in, the country's oil minister said. Washington, summer for U.S. consumers starts off with some of the lowest parts of the pump decade find Midwest drivers are missing out of retail survey finds. Take a look at the stocks now. 98.2 points at 17,787.20. SP 500 2096.96 and Nasdaq 4,048.06. The war against the open enemy of Massachusetts may be pushing the number of potential public health question in the shadows. Edinburgh called it the most challenging budget he had created during the 13-year tenure. Mayor Kevin Dumas submitted the suspended plan Tuesday for the fiscal year 2017 that calls for the city-side layoffs wall. Provide an additional $2 million as close about the state minimum. Edinburgh Twitter survey of Edinburgh high school graduate students found most do not want Mayor Kevin Dumas speaking at their graduation party because of the budget crisis that could result in layoffs of teachers. Following messages that a strip of 40 days say Fund video in 2009 just before she was killed to on trail for allegedly attacking the number of the town and entered in the Massachusetts club has been held without bail. Prosecutors say 35-year-old Catherine Patel pleaded not guilty Tuesday in the Federal River Supreme Court to multiple charges, including assault battery with intent to maim. Prosecutors say playing Patel forced away to the mouth from assault and Kingston on Dartmouth on 2007 hit another death to the head with a bottle and slashed her arms and face. Warren, Massachusetts, a Lowell man has pleaded guilty to fatally stabbing a volunteer worker at a Lowell homeless shelter where he was staying. Intolerable shouts to the world over a pickle sort of creatures skirts along the seafront, and the souvenir is the fact that it sports one of the most powerful biological epidemics known to science in its big loaded cloth. It's almost running well on serving its own effects, and planets hundreds of light years away enough for slow system will probably one hand in our backyard, standing lead after Alexander Mustel and Storm at the University of Sweden. A new city stands in the asteroids now comes out largely responsible for the water molecules trapped within the moon. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration really say to warn people of the dangers of taking photos of wild animals in an attempt to avoid injury. People are seal pups as the seal perfect season gets underway. K. Peggle, MDXM, 17 Brady Bender, Steamboat Spring, Colorado, at the Center of Concussion. At Rocky Mountain Hospital for children, she found the condition of a concussion during the United States hockey tournament. And I'm in California as someone who has explained Zika firsthand. Tigers pitcher Francisco Wiggins would give advice. Athletes trying to 2016 Rio Olympics. Do your homework. General Mills designation of volunteer recall certain gold metal flower project to the possible E. coli contamination if it caused being issued because of the multi-state outbreak of E. coli or 121 that may involve gold metal flower. Peter Chalmers, 8:38 on this Wednesday and time out for a sport. The Boston Red Sox defeat the Baltimore Orioles 6-2. Tonight, Sox Orioles square off at 7:05 p.m. The New England Patriots have inspired a position change from Brent Bauer, Gordon Seahawks coach Pete Carroll, the defense by the play safety during the second quarter Seattle. Thanks to the Baltimore Ravens' responsibilities with the Patriots. Paris, 4 days after GCP last played in French Open, Serena Williams wasted no time getting off the court once she was back on it. The Southeast Conference Commissioner Greg State last week that policy became more clear this week as SEC expected to two transfers over history of violence. The flight is 5 years older than we still don't know what happened. Peter Childers, Bazal, 8:39 on this Wednesday morning. It's time for a travel report. Maybe. Alright, let's say you over now with 99 minutes stop outside of the store for technology into data permanent. 146 to the stop outside, so for before data permanent. 185 on the west side and it's so from Seacock only into data permanent. 95 on the north side, so from 37 only into data permanent for more. 146 to the south outside shore, north stream for stretch 9, north outside shore, Lincoln to the Woonsocket. Route 4 to the north outside shore, Route 43, Crescent Point. 21 to the north outside, also free transit. 95 to the north outside, and it is so from Foxborough all the way at to Route 128 Canton. Route 45 to the south outside, and it's all around Franklin all the way to Jutlands around Route 18. 45 to the north outside, and it's all from Milford all the way at to Route 9 to Wellesley. Mass Park in the east side, and it's all from Westborough all the way out to the Prutello. Mass Park on the west side, and it's all from Logan all the way at to the Prutello. 24 to the north side, and it's all from 140 Taunton all the way at to Route 44 in Britain. Route 28, the north side, also out of Border. 24 to the north side, stop go from 27 to Brockton all the way to Route 128 Canton. Route 3 to the north side, so 228 Rockland all the way to the Braintree Split. 120 in both ends, it's all from 138 in Canton all the way to the Braintree Split. 120 on the north side, and it's all from Route 1 in Denham all the way at the Route 20 Waltham. Route 120 in the south side, so from Burlington all the way at to Waltham. Route 2 in the west side, and it's all for Route 95 in Lexington. Route 2 in the east side, and also added from Arlington all the way to Belmont. Southeast Expressway to the north side, and it's all from Braintree all the way at to Quincy. 93 more feds, and also at downtown Boston. 93 to the south side, it is so from Medford all the way to Zachem Bridge. 93 to the north side, it's so from Medford all the way out to Route 128 Canton. 93 to the south side, and it's so from all the way at the downtown Boston. 120 to the south side, so Route 1 and PBD all the way to Waltham. Route 3 to the south side, so 45 all the way at to Route 128 in Burlington. 485 on the south side, it's go around Hudson around Marlborough. 485 on the north side, also after Route 2 in Littleton. 485 on the south side, also at Route 3 Lowell, all the way to Westford. 485 on the north side, also after Route 3 Lowell. 485 on the south side, also from 230 to Methuen, all the way to Lodge. Route 232 to west side, so over to Methuen. Out in Worcester vicinity, 146 on the south side, also after the Mass Pike in Millbury. 146 on the north side, also before 290 in Worcester. 290 east side, also the Worcester stretch. I-91 on the north side, so 57 in Springfield all the way out to 291 in Springfield. I-91 on the north side, also at the Newfield stretch. Highways and byways of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, not looking good. I-87 on both ends, also the Plattsburgh stretch. At New York State 3, it's slow from Schenectady all the way out to Albany. And also, it is slow on 290 on the eastbound side around the New York State 3 around the Buffalo stretch. Out in Connecticut, 91 on the southbound side, and it's so from Windsor all the way at the downtown Hartford. I-84, 91 on the northbound side, also before I-84 in Hartford, I-84 on the westbound side, and it's so from 291 in Manchester all the way to I-91, I-84 to the eastbound side, so from Newport all the way to Hartford, Connecticut. I-84 to the eastbound side, also on Route 8 in Waterbury, I-84 to the westbound side, so from Newtown to Route 7 in Denbury. Route 7 to the southbound side, and so from Denbury. Merritt Parkway to the southbound side, so from Milford all the way to Sanford, 95 to the southbound side, so from Bridgeport all the way out to Greenwich, and highways and byways to New York City, slow go. And I-81 on the southbound side, also around the New York State 3 in Syracuse. Okay, let's take a look at MBTA Transit Alerts. Oh. Subway system is looking good. Commuter rail, Worcester train 505, 17 from substation to operate 10-50 minutes. Peak times go between Fairmont and Worcester New train traffic. Fairmont train 587, 726 a.m. from substation to bar. Substation operate 50 train minutes. We have to go due to a mechanical issue. And Kingston train 0400 is about to Kingston about 5-50 minutes behind schedule due to late arrival outbound train. Kingston train 033, 711 a.m. outbound to partner substation that is operated 15 train minutes behind schedule due to a mechanical issue. X-ray departed Middleburg company passengers. Middleburg train 006, 6:08 a.m. and was canceled today. Next about train is expected to depart Middleburg 7:20 p.m. 7:20 a.m. And if everything looking good, Peter Childers is out 8:44 on this Wednesday morning. It's time for weather report today. Sun's got about 75 degrees. North about 68 miles an hour. Tonight, Patchwork after 2 a.m. Otherwise, podcast got about 53 degrees. Northeast around 3 to 5 miles an hour. Thursday, check the tourism report 9 a.m. Patchwork more 7 a.m. was most Most of that's got about 71 degrees. East wind about 5 to 7 miles an hour. Thursday, most of that's got about 54 degrees. East wind about 5 miles coming to 18 Friday. Just a chance. This was also possible until 4 p.m. Most guys got about 73 degrees. Come we become south for 6 miles in the afternoon. Just patient 40%. Friday night, just a chance. That's also before 2 a.m. Most guys got about 38 degrees and just patient 20%. Saturday, punt size coming at 88 degrees. Saturday night, punt stretch bug up to 3 a.m. watts. Most guys coming at 59 degrees. Sunday, just a chance. Stretch bug before 7 a.m. watts. Most guys got about 73 degrees. Just patient 50%. Saturday night, just a showers. Class guys level up 60 degrees. Just patient 50%. Monday, check the showers and thistles. Most guys got about 50 degrees. Just patient 40%. And Tuesday, check the showers and thistles. Punt size got about 73 degrees and just patient 30%. Good, not here. It is up. First guys at 70 degrees. Humidity 64%. 21 above Celsius. And that's me, if it appeared to tell. Morning news on this May 21st, 2016 on Wednesday. Please have a good morning and goodbye to all. See you at 12 noon for a new time report. Have a good morning.